What's up, random fam? It's your girl T here, back with another totally random video. The last couple of videos that I've done has been about General Hospital, and this one will be no different. This one kind of comes at a request, kind of because I want to talk about it, and I've been thinking about it all week. I want to apologize to you guys if I sound weird, because I did get sick this last week of January, so I do apologize if I'm sniffling and coughing in this video. But if I put this off, then I feel like it's gonna just lose its effect. Like, I have to talk about it now, like, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna talk about it. If you guys remember from the last two videos, I basically was gushing about the Jason and Sam having sex, and then the morning after, and I was just all like giggles and smiles and just so happy. And it has not died down. I'm still very, like, I watch the videos on YouTube repeatedly all the time. I'm just on cloud nine. And one of the videos that I wanted to do was why I feel that the writers got this reunion right. I have been in Facebook groups. I'm still in a couple Facebook groups. Been on Twitter, watched other videos on YouTube, and like, I know fans of Jason and Sam are like, this is taking too long. This needs to hurry up. I'm just so over it. Just put them back together already. And then you got fans of Jason and Drew. Sorry. Of Drew and Sam, and of Liz and Jason, who are like, they don't have any chemistry anymore, and this is just garbage, and da-da-da. And I completely disagree with both of those, like, ideas, both of those thoughts. I disagree with it. And it may be coming from the mind of a writer, because I am a writer, so I think about story as opposed to just, I guess, just giving the people what they want. You think about building the story. So that's where my mind is coming from. And then I also read into the emotions of the actors as an actress, because I'm an actress as well. So, excuse me. I apologize. So maybe that's just why I see it differently, and I see this reunion completely successful, completely done well. I am not saying that the General Hospital writers, I'm sorry, I'm fidgeting a lot, you guys. This is just me. This is just me. You got to deal with me moving around a lot when I talk. But I'm not saying that the General Hospital writers are getting every story right, because, child, there's some stories on there that I'm just like, what were they thinking? Like, Frankel and Kiki dying, like, this dude used to be a serial killer. Like, I don't care if the tumor is gone, but I feel like there should have been a lot more rage coming from Franco after Kiki died. Like, you thought this girl was your child for like 21 years of her life. Like, are you kidding me? That's for a whole nother video, y'all. We're not even gonna get there. We're not gonna go there right now. But I am going to talk to you guys about Jason and Sam. So, why I love Jason and Sam is it probably has a lot to do with just their natural chemistry, and the fact that because of their natural chemistry, that is why they became a couple. If you guys have been watching it for as long or longer than I have, and I've been watching it since the 90s, I know I don't look it, but no, I've been watching it since the 90s, and they were never meant to be together. It was never an idea. Like, as a writer, you sit down and you plot things out, you know, possible love interests and things like that. And when they went to the drawing board or put together their series Bible or whatever they did for this show, I don't know how they work. Jason and Sam was never an idea. It was never something that they were like, oh, we're going to totally put these two together. I think it was always supposed to be Sam coming in between Sonny and Carly, which is why, if you guys remember at the beginning, even when Sam moved in with Jason and she's, you know, having his baby and everything, she constantly talked about how much she loves Sonny, how much she loves Sonny. She loves Sonny. She loves Sonny. She loves Sonny. She wants to be with Sonny, but Sonny doesn't want to be with her. That was one of the reasons why she wanted to get rid of the baby, because she didn't want to come between her, Sonny and Carly. But Sam was in love with Sonny. That's who she wanted to be with. And the writers saw something, or not even, maybe the writers didn't see something. Maybe the producers, maybe it was just us fans that just saw something when we saw Jason and Sam together. And we were just like, Yes, there is something there. They are super cute together. Like, they are very playful with each other. And we were seeing another side of Jason that we weren't used to seeing, which was him smiling would be number one. Him being playful. Yeah, he smiled with Courtney. Yeah, he smiled with Robin. And yeah, he smiled with Carly. But it was something different about what was going on there. And I don't know if it was that caused the writers to go, maybe this might be a possibility. And then you also get the fact that they both lived very dangerous lives, and then neither one of them had an issue with the way the other one lived. So it just kind of was this match made in heaven, where she just didn't care. Like, you go ahead and be in the mob and go kill people, be a hitman, do your thing, do you, boo. And he was like, oh, so you a con woman? Like, well, you can't con me, but, I'm not going to judge you for what you did in your past. And they just really accepted each other for who they were. So I think that was one of the reasons why I fell in love with them. Like, they are my ultimate ship. They are the couple that even made me realize, like, that I shipped people. Like, I don't think I shipped anybody before them. Like, they started it all. And now I have, like, at least almost maybe 10, maybe not 10, but I have a few couples where I'm just like, yes, because they give me that same kind of, I think, feeling that Jason and Sam gives me, that soulmates are real, that true love exists. Like, that's what I get out of, like, for, like, my mom's, I guess my mom's generation and maybe my grandmother's generation, because they both watched the show as well. Luke and Laura was that couple. Luke and Laura was that couple that, they were the ones that proved that real love existed and true love. And so for me, from my generation, maybe for people who, maybe aren't even in my generation, but you see Jason and Sam, that's what they did for me. They did for me what Luke and Laura did for my mom. Like, it's true love. Like, these people are destined to be together. So this is a ramble, because as you guys can see, I am rambling on. I didn't write down notes. I didn't do anything. I just wanted to take the camera out and talk because I've been putting it off because I've been sick. But the reason why I think the writers got it right is the writers could have gave us viewers exactly what we wanted. Jason returned, and Sam could have just been like, who you to Drew? Take your ring. I'm done with you. There's my man right there, my true love. And she could have went and bit, and her and Jason could have jumped in the sheets together. They jumped in them sheets, but they could have jumped in them sheets a lot sooner. And where was the story though? Where would the story have been? Like, that is what I think a lot of viewers aren't really taking into account, is what is the story? It probably could have caused a lot more like drama between Drew and Jason if they had gotten back together a lot sooner, but there would have been no real story. Like, I feel like the delayed gratification and the buildup was what we needed. Plus, you got to think of it from a character standpoint. When Drew was known as Jake Doe, Sam was involved with Patrick. Now, I didn't watch the show then for a lot of reasons, not because I was boycotting because Jason or Steve Burton wasn't on the show. It was just a lot of things going on, and I just didn't watch the show. But I have watched clips on YouTube. But anyway, so when Billy was Jake Doe, Sam was with Patrick. And she felt the connection to Jake Doe. And then when he came out to be Jason Morgan, she tried to rebate in this relationship with Patrick. And I think people forget that. She tried to be honorable and, Patrick, I love you and I still want to marry you. And Jason doesn't even remember me. And he's got his own thing. He's with Elizabeth. And it was Patrick who said, this is the love of your life. Like, this is the person that you love, and he's back. And I know how it would be if Robin came back to me. So I feel that we should break up and you should go be with Jason. So what we're forgetting with the whole Drew and Jason thing is that she treated the real Jason, Steve Burton, the same way she treated Billy Miller's Jason, is that she didn't try to run back into a relationship with him when she found out who he was. She tried to stay noble, stay in a relationship that she was in, and not break that person's heart, because the love of her life is back. So, there was pretty much very similar actions. And then you also got to take into account that that when Billy Miller was identified as Jason, and they did start to rebuild this bond, and they did end up getting back together, all of those emotions that she was feeling for the, what was it, 3 years at the time that Jason was gone, she poured into this man. She gave him everything. This is your son, Jason. Danny's your son. He's not Franco. You know, they renewed vows. They fell in love again. They just rebuilt this thing. And then to have 2 years after that, this man who looks exactly like the man that she has always loved, the man that really showed her what true love was and what love was, comes back, and it's like, what did I do? Kind of, you know? Yeah, Jason would have wanted her to move on. He wouldn't have wanted her to wait around for 5 years for him to return. He would have wanted her to move on. So she did. So it wasn't like a feeling guilty on she moved on, but she thought that this other man was him. She called him Jason. She gave him his son. She had another child with him. Like, she, you know, poured all of her love into this other man, the love that she had solely for Jason. She poured into this other man, and it turns out that he was the imposters, you know. So there had to be a lot of turmoil within her. I'm sorry if I'm stumbling over the word. Like, I feel like I'm just all clogged up, you guys. But there had to be a lot of turmoil going on in her. So that New Year's kiss that they had on the boat, where fans are like, she was not into it. I think that fans and the haters alike were trying to read too much into it. They were trying to read it. She was not into that kiss. Like, oh, I gotta kiss Steve Burton. I don't think that's what it is. I think that if you watch the show and watch it just as a viewer and not somebody who is, this is the couple that I want together, but just literally just watch it as a viewer with just an open mind. I think it was, you know, she's kissing this man that is Jason, but she's kissing this man that is not her husband. You know, like, her and Drew had just renewed their vow, just got married under the name of Drew Kane, and she became Samantha Kane. She was kissing Jason, the love of her life, but Jason's not her husband anymore. So she's betraying her husband by kissing this man, which is, I think, why you kind of see that turmoil on her face as she's kissing him, and then they pull back. It wasn't like the New Year's kiss that they just had this year, where they just both basically just sunk into it. It was just natural, just kissing each other. That was so natural. It was, you know, there was a lot going on. She's battling with herself because she's telling Jason to stay away from her. You know, yeah, you can see your son, but there's nothing between us anymore because I love Drew. But at the same time, this is the love of her life. You know what I mean? But he's not her husband. So I think that was, you know, what was going on in her mind. And I think the people who are sitting there constantly talking about Sam isn't feeling Jason and she not really showing any attention to him, I think you guys are miscrediting Kelly Monaco as an actress. Like, I think you guys are forgetting that she's a very good actress and that she's grown over the years, you know. She's like, that's what actors do, they grow. And so I can see the conflict on her face when she's dealing with these situations between both Drew and Jason. You can see she wants to be with Jason, but she made this other commitment. And it's kind of hard. And I also, before she even told Jason that she loved him after they escaped that trailer, like, you could tell that she and she told Jason she loved him and she knew that he was Jason all along. You could see it all on her face when he came into the hospital, the multiple times he came to the hospital, when he stopped by the penthouse, like, all of this, you couldn't see it on her face. She knew it was Jason, but she couldn't hurt Drew's feelings by admitting that, I don't think that you're Jason. I think you might be the brother, because that is Jason. And I know it without a shadow of a doubt. That is Jason. So I think that this storyline, this buildup between them and the slow burn and them having these little moments were perfect. When they were about to rip each other's clothes off in the living room and Alexis interrupted, I was mad with the rest of y'all. Like, dang, we was about to get Jason with his shirt off and they was about to go at it, reunited at last. But I think that it was played off very well for them to wait, because for them to get back together, it couldn't have just been about them hitting the sheets. It had to be about something so much more. And which is why I think the perfect time for them to reconnect intimately, because they were already reconnected. I'm sorry, people, I'm sorry if I'm jumping all over the place, but I hope you guys are following. Sorry. But people were saying when Sam said this week to Jason that we need to break up, and I was reading some comments like, well, wait, when were they together? Like, and somebody was like, oh, well, when they slept together, that meant that they were together, like they boyfriend and girlfriend now. No, I think that the moment that they decided to take things slow, that was when they decided that they were going to be a couple. You know what I mean? Like, they shared kisses, they touched, they did, you know, she leaned on his shoulder for Halloween and all of this stuff. Like, they were a couple, but they weren't intimate. So I believe that they were already reunited. They just became intimate after she saved his life. And I felt like that was the perfect time for them to become intimate, because we all know Sam searched for him. She went in that water. She sat at home crying, baby, please tell me you're alive. Tell me where you are. Like, you got to be coming back to me. And, you know, she finally got to save him. You know, like, out of all the savings that he's done, the number of times that he has rescued her life, she finally got to be the one to rescue him. And she got to be able to rescue him in the same place where she lost him at so many years ago. So, I think that was the perfect time for them to reconnect intimately in such a manner. And it was sweet. It was sweet and it was romantic, because although they are familiar with each other's bodies and they're familiar with each other, they haven't been together in almost 7 years, 6 years. So it was, sorry, you guys, I'm doing a lot of talking and I don't have a drink right here. It was perfect. I thought that it was absolutely sweet. It was very romantic. And I think that the writers really did a good job of building up. Like, first of all, they gave a lot of us fans, we had to wait. We had to work for it. Because I remember when they reunited in 2009 and we heard that they were going to reunite, but we didn't know when it was going to happen. And I just remember every day just being glued to my TV like, please, is it now? 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 Please. And, and like I said in the video right after they made love, or my last video where people were just like, there was no passion. There was no passion. Like, you guys got to understand that when they reunited in 2009 and when they reunited, I just realized they reunited in 2019. General Hospital writers, you guys are so tricky. But when they reunited, there were two different circumstances. They were around each other constantly in 2009, 2008, 2007, because they were dating the Liz and Lucky combo. You know, we got Liaison and we got Sam. Like, they were dating them, so they saw each other constantly, and it just came to a point in 2009 where they just had to admit that they still have feelings for each other, and they got put into a life and death situation, and it was just like, listen, we about to do this. But this time around, it was different, because it was, you know, they hadn't seen each other in so long, and Jason, although he was ready to reconnect with her in that way, because for him, it hadn't been 5 years, it had been like 5 months, but for her, it had been, you know, 5 years. She had been in 3 different relationships, engaged in one of them, living with that man, and then she married Jason's twin brother and had a baby by him, you know? So it was different. They had to build up to it differently. They couldn't just have her go, oh, Jason, take me now. Like, when he came back, it had to be a lot of, it had to be a lot of them learning to trust each other again, to build up to that, to her to trust herself, and for her to know that she was doing the right thing, because she already thought that one other person was Jason, and she gave him everything. And then the real Jason comes back, and am I going to lose him again? Like, I've been here already. I got Jason, I lost him, got him, you know, like, am I going to lose him again? So it had to become a lot of Sam trusting herself and trusting that what was going on with her and Jason was real. You know, she said it the morning after. She had, like, is this really happening? And Jason told her, yeah. I feel like I just rambled, which is what this is going to be called. It's a ramble. And I probably just made no sense and maybe just confused all of you guys. I'm sorry. We'll blame it on me being sick right now. and also my excitement to talk about Jason and Sam. But I just think that the writers, this is one storyline going on right now that the writers did a good job with. And I think that we have to stop saying that Sam does not have any feelings for Jason. And I think we have to remember that Kelly Monaco is an actress, and she's actually a pretty damn good actress. Okay. Like, she doing her thing on this. I don't care what anybody say. She doing it. And I am enjoying it. And I'm enjoying watching the show. And I am enjoying being taken on this journey of Jason and Sam being back together as a full-blown couple, possibly married. The only thing I don't like about the whole Jason and Sam and Drew thing is the fact that the writers decided to name Drew and Sam's daughter the name that she was gonna give to her daughter with Jason. But I guess it kind of makes sense considering the fact that she thought Drew was Jason at the time. But if you guys remember, she was she was telling Jason, this is before he disappeared, she was telling Jason about a fantasy that she had, and it was that they had 2 kids. They had Danny, and then they had Emily Morgan. So it just kind of just bugs me that the writer still stuck with that name and didn't give the baby a different name. But she thought that was Jason, so, you know, I guess it kind of makes sense. But I just 100% think that the writers got this story right. Like, we had to earn it. Jason had to earn it. First of all, Jason had to earn it, because Sam, she had to be able to trust herself again. And once she did, you know, she let him in. And then it also was, I think the perfect time was after her saving his life at the same spot where, you know, she could save his life all those years ago. You know, the 2 of them just jumping into the bed, into the sheets, or on the couch, wherever they was going to do it, back in like October. There would have been no story there. You know what I mean? There would have been no story. Of them, you know, really trying to reconnect. It was, they had only hung out like, a couple times, like a handful of times, and then this time they really got to date. We didn't really get to see a whole lot of it, but you could tell, like, the way they were more comfortable with each other, that they basically were dating, you know. And that was the only thing. I wish we could have got more dates, you know, Jason asking her out and things like that, other than just them going out for New Year's. But I don't know. I feel like I'm at 22 minutes right now, and I could probably talk about Jason and Sam all day. I have talked about Jason and Sam all day, but the other people, now I've drove them crazy, so I'm not going to drive y'all crazy. I'm going to go. I'm going to take some medicine, and I wish I could lay down, but I've still got some other stuff to do. I've got a video to record for my other channel. So I am going to call this it. All right, random fam. This was a ramble, and I'm going to go, and I will probably be back with more Jason and Sam, more GH. I will probably come back with the whole thing about GH, because, you know, I got a lot to say when it comes to that show. But this is it. So I'm going to go. Bye.